All right, we are introducing a new topic today. We are on 11-5, fractions in length. This starts on 589, but we are really going to start on page 590. That's where our video introduction will be, and then you can also follow along with the words and the pictures on that page. We are going to watch the video and discuss certain things, and then I will go over what your assignment is today. I feel as though most of you are grasping the fraction concept, your fraction timelines were spectacular. I'm still waiting on a few of you to turn those in, so please make sure you get those in. And then this next topic isn't really going to be that hard. I encourage you to pay attention to the video. If you have questions, ask me. But this is really applying everything you know, but just introducing the word length to it. We're still dividing things into equal spaces and identifying how many of something might have letters on it versus how many of something may not have letters on it. It is not hard. Just don't move ahead, because then you can get confused. So stay with me, reach out if you have questions, and let's watch the video.
How can a fraction name part of a length? Think about this question during the lesson. It's similar to how a fraction can identify part of a group. Haley made a bracelet using 8 red beads. Some of the beads have letters that spell her name. Look at the picture of the bracelet. How do the fraction strips help name the parts of the bracelet?
Well, let's think about that. How do the fraction strips help name the parts of the bracelet? Well, if we have 8 beads, then we know that the unit fraction is 1/8. And then this is showing the length of the bracelet divided into 8s.
They show the length in 8 equal parts. What fraction of the length of Haley's bracelet has beads with letters? What fraction of the length of the bracelet does not have letters?
Okay, I know a lot of you can already identify this. I don't want to jump ahead, or else you'll get bored with the video. But we know that 8 is going to be our denominator, because that is the unit fraction that is representing how many equal parts this bracelet's divided into. So we know that we have to count the beads with the letters on it to determine the fraction of the bracelet with beads of letters. And then we'd have to count the beads with no letters on it to determine the fraction of the bracelet that does not have letters. And you can also do this to determine the length of this bracelet.
A fraction can name part of a length. How can you find the number of parts of the bracelet length that have letters?
We're going to count them. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say that the bracelet length is 5/8 of the beads that have letters.
To find the number of parts of the bracelet length that have letters, count how many 1/8 strips make up the part with letters. How many parts of the bracelet length have letters?
5/8.
What you write. 5 of the 1/8 parts of the length have letters. How many parts make up the length of the bracelet?
Well, we just discussed this. We have 8 equal parts, which is why that denominator is 8.
The length of the bracelet is divided into 8 parts. How do you say this fraction?
Do you guys remember what I've been saying? 5/8. Okay, remember, we practiced that terminology when we were learning fractions. Okay, 2 is halves, and then we go to thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, eighths, ninths, tenths, and so forth.
5 is the number of parts of the length that have letters. 8 is the total number of parts in the bracelet length. So, 5/8 of the bracelet has letters. What fraction of the length of the bracelet does not have letters?
Okay, so let's count the bracelets with, or the beads with no letters. We've got 1, 2, and then 3. So 3 is my numerator. 8 is going to stay as my denominator. So what fraction of length of the bracelet does not have letters? Go ahead and say it out loud, and then let's check and see if you are correct.
3 of the 1/8 parts of the length do not have letters. 3 is the number of parts of the length that do not have letters. 8 is the total number of parts in the bracelet length. How do you say this fraction?
3/8. Did you get it?
What you say. 3/8 of the bracelet length do not have letters. 5/8 of the bracelet length have letters.
8/8 of the bracelet length is red.
Now you know how a fraction can name part of a length.
Okay, and he said 8/8 of the fraction length of the bracelet is red. What is 8/8 equivalent to? Remember, if your numerator and denominator is the same, it is equivalent to 1. So you would say 1 whole bracelet is red. Now, I want you to look at the bottom of page 590. And that is the question that you are going to answer for your assignment today. It says, what fraction of the length of ribbon is pink? If you notice, this ribbon is pink and yellow. What fraction of the ribbon is not pink? Express the fraction of the length that is pink as a sum of unit fractions. So you have to determine, based off of that denominator, how many equal pieces this ribbon's divided into. Well, based on that denominator, I can see that it would be 4. So our unit fraction is that this ribbon is divided into fourths, or 1/4. Now, the first question, what fraction of the ribbon is not pink? Well, I see one area right here that is not pink. So, what fraction represents that? Okay, and then express the fraction of the length that is pink. So that means you're probably going to count 1, 2, 3. That is likely your numerator. And then you already know what the denominator is. I hope my clues helped you. Again, go back, watch the video, or read the different pictures on page 590 if you need some clarification. I hope you guys are finding this easy. It's okay if you're finding it challenging. I'm here to help. All right, bye.